Okay, so this is my aquaponics setup, and these are the little plant cups that I bought. These are the ones I 3D printed, and they're far superior, but they take about 5 hours to print. So now I'm going to show you how I make my own little 3D pen printed ones in only a couple of minutes. So I picked this up on Amazon pretty cheap actually. I've never used one of these before, so this is my first little project. I would say super fun and easy to use. Absolutely awesome piece of kit. So what I'm doing is I'm just drawing a nice circle. That's the circumference of the cup. So basically I'm doing it kind of upside down. I'm starting with the top. I'm going to work my way up. So I'm just going to go around a couple of times. You know, guys, I'm going to speed up this process just a bit because, well, pen work is a little bit slow with it, but that said, it is so much faster than the 3D printer. You can see here, this is all real time. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to speed things up a little bit and we'll get to the next point. Now, like I said, I'm absolutely no pro at this. This is the first time I've ever used it, but what I want to do is I want to raise up the length. So I'm 3D printing up into the air, and then what I'm going to do is curl it over the top of the pen and back down on the far side. And once this plastic, which I'm using PLA that I had in a large spill for my 3D printer, cools a little bit, there we go. That is sitting up in the air, and it means then that I can use that as a point to attach more lines to, which is really cool because it means then that I can just go up and down, get it the exact height I want, and create a nice little strong skeleton frame all the way around this. And that will allow me to attach all the rest of my lines too. And that's basically all this is. It's a neck cup. It's a really kind of easy to make skeleton. It doesn't need to be, you know, in any specific way. And that's why I think the 3D pen doing it super freehand is absolutely awesome. And you can see there just how high I've made it. And literally I'm going to do now is just loop around it. So that filament is just going to catch onto it. It's still hot. And as I'm looping around, it's just building up that skeleton. And clearly now I've got a point all the way to the end. But don't worry, we're not going to go that far. We only need to go about as far as here, because I'm going to be clipping off those pieces at the end. And that's going to allow the hole for the roots of the plant to go down. Just continue to wrap it. Really simple, really easy, and all freehand, and basically just kind of building up the PLA lines where it looks like it needs to be strong. And triangles are good, they're strong, so we make loads of those. And I'm going to speed up a bit again because I'm just going to wrap around this, get it over and done with really, really quickly. And now very simply all I need to do is make a couple of little legs that will act as a rim and catch onto the sides, because there was a big skirt on the 3D printed one which took in itself probably about a half an hour to do. So for this I'm just going to make a couple little arms sticking out, and yeah, they're just going to catch onto the sides and stop the whole cup from falling down into the pipe. So we do a couple of these. Again, I'll speed things up. Once you see one, you've seen them all. And that's pretty much it. Once it cools down enough, you can kind of press the filament together. But it is super hot, so you can burn your hands. Anybody who has done this will know. You have to be careful. I'm doing this outside beside the pond and one of my tanks. So it's really super ventilated, which is really important as well, because the fumes that come off this stuff is pretty nasty. But I'll speed this up, and yeah, we'll get it sorted. Now we just come in with the snips, cut off those couple little pieces at the end. That allows the hole then for the plant to drop through, just the roots. And then I'll just make that I'm just going to reinforce that little bit at the end then as well, make it a little bit stronger, because and just go over any of the sharp pieces that are there, so that it's nice and kind to any roots that are down the bottom. Let me just press that in while it's still warm, make it nice and smooth, and just put a bit of shape to the hole. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it off. I'm going to put 2 more of those legs on, so we'll do that nice and quick. that's it, job done. There you have it, a 3D pen printed neck cup. Now, my goodness, it is nowhere near as fancy as the other ones, but fully functioning. Well, we hope. Let's put it to the test and see how it goes. And guys, when this is warmer, you can heat it with a lighter and bend it, or with a heat source, you can manipulate a little bit, which is awesome. So let's throw in one of our greens here, a little bit of spinach. We'll pop that in, tuck the roots down through the hole in the end, exact same as the rest of the cups. Get them out so that they'll hit the water, and I'll just put a couple of small stones in just for support around the sides, and it'll force those leaves up and out. And these are just little stones that I use all throughout my wetlands bog filters, filter setups, and yeah, I find that they're super handy. And those little stones, any water hitting them will get good bacteria buildup on them, which is awesome. So that's it, pop it in, job done. Well, we'll give it a little bit of a spin. I don't think I've got the guys right, but you can see the roots, they're sitting in the water. Sitting in the water, sucking up all those nutrients, giving us fresh veg. Couple of minutes, 3D printed pen, happy days.